to, how bad things are and the magnitude of work that is in front of these new appointees. There is still much ado about the academic record of President Bola Tinubu as the heat is turning on those still casting doubt on the authenticity. An Igbo socio-political group, Omaligu Progressive Initiative, and the immediate past chairman of the governing board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Loretta Onochie, have tackled the presidential candidate of Labour Party in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, over his comment about President Tinubu's Chicago State University certificate. While the global president of the group, Ginika Tor, described Obi's remarks at the press briefing as a national insult to Nigerians who freely voted for President Tinubu. Onochie said someone who failed as the governor of Anambra State can't criticize Mr. President. Let's hear from Tor. Get back to that statement from the federal commissioner representing Enugu State at the Federal Character Commission. Well, the thing for me is how this has now, moved into an attack on personalities. My thinking is there's an issue here. Why not face the issue? Everyone who comes, on my program wants to attack the person of who is speaking. I mean, is there sense in that, really?
Well, I was just really taken aback, by the press conference, the so-called World Press Conference by Mr. Obi yesterday, In fact, when I got that intel that he will be doing a press conference, I was shocked. In my head, I was saying, this man doesn't even know what he's doing. Then I now said, okay, let me even give him
the biggest story on the paper.
Wait, no, wait, let me even give him the benefit, or let me even listen to what he will say. And at the end of the day, the little that I heard, I was just like, oh, come on. It's as if he just wanted, he was like someone who was sitting somewhere, who was popular before, and he was sitting somewhere and said, people are not talking about me. Oh yeah, what do I do? And then he just decided to jump into the fray, and now he's in the newspapers. Because from all the things he said, it's obvious that he didn't even read that disposition at all. Something that everybody has discussed, and they have already agreed that Mr. President went to that school.
He said they should.
He still came back to
give us evidence. About the universities.
Exactly.
He wasn't even necessarily talking about science.
Yeah, I said school.
Show us the
After they have told you, it's like it's someone that is, to me, that yes, it was like they have told him that, oh, he didn't go to school.
Or what had always been in his head.
Or maybe they wrote that particular statement, speech, days ago. Before that, maybe immediately after Articles, or before Articles, then he now decided to just pick it up and decide to, because it didn't make any sense to me. And that is why Loretta took her time yesterday. If you need to go and see read Loretta's statement, or no, chest statement, it was like, is this man really, was this the same person they wanted to, say we should vote for? There were so many things that was running through my head. And I was really, really disappointed yesterday. I was before, but even now, it really confirmed that, oh, God.
But does it baffle you that long after the election, they're still dragging Mr. President? Because one would have thought that by now, that elections are over, they have won the first leg of the case in court. Maybe attention would have drawn into something else.
You don't know them. You don't know them. They began dragging him before the election because clearly he was the man to beat. He was the front runner. No doubt about that. That was why it was easy for some of us to predict that, oh, he will win in this state, he will win in that state. We saw it coming. They had begun to attack him long before the election, even before the primaries of the APC. Once it became clear that he could contest, and it became clear that he would be the winner of the presidential primaries of the APC, they didn't leave him alone. These people believe that the best they can do is to stop you. In the petition that Obi brought before the tribunal, There was nowhere he tried to prove that he won the election. All the game plan was get this man disqualified. Get him disqualified. That was their first strategy, their second strategy, their third strategy, their fourth, right up to the 10th strategy. Get him disqualified. And once that didn't work, they had nothing to say. Obi should produce the alternative result sheet indicating that he won the election. Not to just make wild allegations, oh, they stole my votes here, they took my votes away here. You that you don't even have with agents in many polling units, especially in northern Nigeria, how are you going to win? The bulk of the votes are there. Getting the votes of Christians here and there will not make you president. I mean, it's a waste of time.
Let me hold you for a minute. We have the soundbite now from Ginika Tor, who is Federal Commissioner of the Federal Character Commission.
A man who served 8 years as a governor, you don't know his state, should tell us his background educationally. Is that right?
No.
What am I trying to say here? It's an insult to Nigeria as a nation for you to call out our president, who was massively supported and elected and confirmed and validated as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to come and stand before who? To say he's from this state, from this country, from this region, from the locality. Does he owe us that?
No.
What president owe us now is to take us to our destination of choice. So I'm disappointed in a man that I respect so much, my brother, who stood firm to run for the Igbos. It may not be turned now, but it could come in future. But whatever he does now is going to play out in future. So let us be cautioned, and let all Igbos not be misled by this press interview.
Yes.
You know, since this Bola Tinubu matter came up, every Nigerian who does not like the president has been behaving like a moral champion. Moral midgets are coming out of the woods to parade themselves, to form moral champions. And that is what baffles me. If you accuse Tinubu of forgery, even without a court affirmation, Abure, the national chairman of the suspended national chairman of Labour Party, Obi has been going after him like a caddy goes after a golfer. You would think that they are Siamese twins. If a case comes up in court, Obi wants people to see him behind Abure. Meanwhile, Abure and his ESCO members were accused of forgery, of forging even INEC papers, of forging withdrawal letters by candidates who won the primaries. The case was brought before an Abuja court. The court ordered the police to investigate. The preliminary report of the police found them culpable. Look at, there's a certain person from Ebonyi State that they actually forged his own, okay, I think it's Ezeoku. Mr. Ezeoku, whose name was submitted to the Ebonyi Guba candidate, alleged that without his consent and authorization, he was substituted with one Nkegwu Edward Okereke, who participated in the primary election of the APC and failed. They forged his withdrawal letter to make that happen. So Abure was suspended definitely by, that's even, Abure was suspended by the court. He has not been able to vacate that order, largely because of the findings of the police. Somebody that the police investigated along with his ESCO members and found them to be forgers, forging even INEC documents. Obi is following him like the shell follows a snail. He does not see anything wrong about that. But a man that the court has not proved that is CSU certificate is, a CSU diploma is forged. He is already condemning that person and confirming that he actually was guilty of forgery. And you call what you call a press conference to talk about this. This is hypocrisy, elevated hypocrisy. Obi had a phone call with a pastor the other day where they wanted to turn our election into a religious battle. Obi, he knew in his heart that he actually had that conversation, no? Yet he was threatening the journalists who leaked it.
People gadgets.
Threatening them with court action. Yes. The people refused to withdraw, to apologize. Obi has not had the courage to go to court.
Yes.
I challenge him today, since you claimed initially that you didn't make that phone call, sue that individual. Yes. Sue them. I challenge him. He should show that if you want to lead Nigeria, you have to be somebody who has courage. Yes. Show us that you have that courage in you. Go to court. It's just like Article 2 that Obasanjo wrote, all of that thing that he wrote in his book. Article has not found the courage to take Obasanjo to court. Article 2 is doing like moral giant. This is about Nigeria. Oh, my loyalty is to Nigeria. Oh, loyalty to Nigeria. Where? It's not we that we know you. It's just that there are certain things that we choose not to say. Exactly. We know you very well. You cannot be forming a moral giant before us. That's
all right. Let's go to a short commercial break. Mr. Obi is asking that Mr. President comes out to, talk to Nigerians and give some clarification about the certificate.
Talk to Nigerians about it. It's a non-issue.
So everyone is jumping on President Tinubu's certificate story. The latest is from the Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi. We're not likely going to hear from Kwakwasu on this one. He says, you know what, count me out of it. But
the Labour Party actually said that too. But somehow.
But yes, somehow.
Obi came out trying to.
They started by saying that they were focused on their case at the Supreme Court.
That was what they said initially. But you know that he's someone without a mind of his own.
Exactly.
Some people must have applied pressure on him. And now say, okay, let me talk about it. Obi, we've never had somebody who came third in an election drawing attention needlessly to himself like Peter Obi is doing. We've had elections in this country. We've never had anyone. It's because he's enjoying the limelight.
Exactly.
He knows that once he pulls out, there's nothing on ground to show that he even wants to claim this mandate beyond the noise in the social media. No concrete plan on ground to show that, Obi, I'm the one who won this election, I want to claim it. Let them show us from the pleadings by their lawyers. What did you score? What was your score? State by state. Show us.
But
your alternative figures, show us. Because parties have what you call situation room.
Yes.
Now, and you have agents. What are the results that your agents present?
No, they have situation room. They had situation room on social media. So they are getting their own results.
Remember that when they were collating, when obedience were collating alternative results.
Exactly.
And the moment Asiwaju overtook Obi, they closed the portal and started abusing the person who began the collation in the first place. They knew that they didn't win the election.
The position there was that the numbers uploaded online, was different from the one that was counted, and one would have expected that they would provide that figure.
And where is the
because the thing is,
from EC8?
Yeah, because that is the form that the agents
of analyzing results in our country. The primary source
is the form
EC8A. It is whatever they put on.
IREV
is also a product of EC8A. It's actually from EC8A that they snap and put there. Nobody should come and tell us where is. Bring those results. Let us see.
So even in court, what they would have done was also to produce the same thing.
The interesting dimension
is the primary evidence.
Yes,
is the primary evidence, and like the appeal court said, IREV is not a collation center. So where are the results?
The interesting dimension to this conversation, Asuko, is the fact that not many people I've been able to sit down with the deposition to read through. So it's just the little bits of screen grabs that you see online.
Of course.
And perhaps Peter Obi have also been able to carry along, his millions of supporters long after this election.
Just like I told you, instead of Mr. Obi to do Mogbomoya and enter into the matter that is not his business, what you should just do is sit down, spend the whole day, sit down, and then begin to read one by one.
That thing is long ago.
No.
The position that took 5 hours.
That's what I'm saying. He will sit down, then he will ask somebody who understands the legality about it, and then they will be explaining to him the whole day. At least it's 5 hours.
Yes.
So 24 hours is not bad if he sits down, take a coffee, and he's reading it, and they're explaining.
No, not everybody can be that painstaking. You understand? Remember, all eyes on the judiciary. Everybody is sleeping.
He needs to sit down and listen to himself more, rather than go on social media and then they are egging him on.
Nobody was governor for 8 years. You are telling him to come and introduce himself.
We don't want that.
To Nigeria.
He should act like a statesman, okay? Because so many people still believe in him. He should act like a statesman and don't overheat the polity. If he doesn't need to talk, let him sit down. And just like Loretta said, we don't want him to even retire. We want somebody
before we go,
that will be coming into election and making it,
Let me read what Loretta said, though. Go home, Peter. You will never be declared president of a great nation. Apart from the simple fact that you came a distant third, you don't deserve to lead our nation. Your temperament and disposition are not attributes needed to lead a diverse nation such as Nigeria. You can't even lead the Southeast. Under your nose, Southeast became a war zone. A once vibrant economy built on hard work destroyed. Shave your desperation. Your ambition is beyond what you deserve. It will never come to pass. I don't believe in doomsday prophecy. But if Obi continues to behave
so this life that is,
and he continues his narrow worldview, vote of the Christians, you will never be president. You must be able to win. I've said something, people don't like it when I say it. Obi never won a single state dominated by Muslims. His best performance in that regard was in Kaduna. Kaduna has a Muslim majority. He scored 21% in Kaduna. Kaduna also has a good Christian population. So he scored 21%. That's the best performer in the whole of the far north. Every other place, Ofidi Remini.
But as a politician, maybe he's not doing quite badly, at least keeping himself in the news long after.
He needs to,
all of them need
keeping himself relevant. Or you see, it is not, Nefemi, I'm sorry to jump into your mouth.
Yes.
It is not an eternal thing. Whether he likes it or not, the issue of this election, I know that he wants to keep his base, the noisy base on social media. He wants to keep it. He desperately wants to keep it. He's a man who had never enjoyed this kind of limelight. Imagine a man who couldn't install a successor by himself. Because the person he put there, in my view, it was somebody who on his own wanted to be, and did they not fight just hours after?
Yes.
And after that, he came back, tried to bring someone else.
Tried to be removing, but he couldn't.
He was defeated in his local government.
He couldn't.
Check it out. He was defeated in his local government when he tried to bring someone. Abga has been consistent. After he joined the PDP, Abga has been consistently defeating him. He has not had, even the last election, Abga still dominated the House of Assembly election, apart from winning the governorship. So he needs to embrace a worldview that is broader than we see him demonstrate. Otherwise, he will, Onoche's doomsday prophecy will come to pass. It's as simple as that. It's not a matter of hatred. They may think somebody will say, Babajide, we know that you hate Igbos. The fact that I do not agree that Obi won an election does not mean I hate Igbos. God forbid.
No.
Even as a young man, I had far more Igbo girlfriends. That's a fact.
That's a
yes.
That's an amazing.
But they gave you a chieftaincy title.
I'm the Okulo Randigbo from Enugu Aguleri, given to me by one of the most respected kings in Nigeria today, Eze Chukwemeka Eri. So what are we talking about? That I do not agree that Obi won an election does not mean I hate Igbos. I'm just saying the truth, and I don't believe in deceiving myself. I can say things that will galvanize my Igbo friends, or even the obedient, that will make them start thinking, Abijide don't port to be obedient. But I will not say it. Abuse me as much as maybe it's only X where you can abuse me. If I like, I stay away from social media and leave you. I will remain here. As long as you can't kick me out of here, you can't button up my mouth. It's as simple as that.
No, I think that everyone is growing a thick skin against the council culture.
Election will soon come. 4 years always seems like a long time before.
Of course, you know.
4 years, another 4 years will be here.
Well, time will tell how Peter Obi will, whether or not that prophecy will come to pass. We'll be here to see, hopefully.